don't remember a whole lot, I'm sure that you remember that equality was hard to come by. I mean, you even think about just the way that people were buried in ancient Egypt. Not everybody was buried in the same way. It totally depended on who you were, how much money you had, who your family was. And really, we see that so much through history in all kinds of different societies, not just the United States. It's really hard to achieve equality, even though Jefferson is saying all men are created equal. Okay? Wherever one looked, some people had far more wealth and power than others. Equality, or the ideal situation in which all people are treated the same way and valued equally, was the exception, not the rule. All right, first chunk here, defining equality in 1776. For many Americans of Jefferson's time, the ideal of equality was based on the Christian belief that all people are equal in God's eyes. Remember, that's what our country was founded on. The colonists saw themselves as rooting this ideal on American soil. They shunned Europe's social system with its many ranks of nobility and prided themselves on having no rank above that of freeman. Okay, but here's the catch. The view of equality, however, ignored the ranks below freemen. In 1776, there was no equality for the 500,000 slaves who labored in the colonies, nor was there equality for women who were viewed as inferior to men in terms of their ability to participate in society. And there's one more group that our book addressed.
Native Americans?
Native Americans.
Okay.
So when Jefferson wrote this, all men are created equal, trying to create an equality in the society, he was really talking about free men, okay, white men, okay, and ignoring some groups. All right, so remember I said do one little chunk and then go back to the questions? So, the first question, and I can delete the answers from last time.
I am a 2048 speedrunner.
What was the ideal of equality based on in Jefferson's time in 1776? Well, hopefully you remember. It was based on the Christian belief that all men are created equal in God's eyes. That's where the whole line came from. Okay? That's where the ideal of equality came from. Yep.
How come that, like, HB and Ash have always feel wrong? Like, I've always been probably that simplicity getting easier.
Well, you're not fooling around right now. You're quiet. You're choosing not to do your work. You're choosing not to do your work.
Well, yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay. Well, good.
Which is like equality and with the finance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually working.
Created equal.
That's a good thing. All right, then, the second question for this defining equality is which two groups were ignored when it came to equality? Well, our book talked about 3 groups, but this article really only talked about 2 groups. Okay, they talked about slaves and women. Okay? So even though the founders, like Jefferson, had this belief that, hey, as Christians, all people are equal in God's eyes, they sort of left out people. Slaves and women did not view them as people. Okay? So, then again, the strategy I'm telling you to do is once you finish the defining part, go back to the article and read the debating equality part. Okay? So here's the debating equality part. Okay, follow along as I read. It says, over time, Americans have made great progress in expanding equality. So, yes, we have come a long way since 1776. Okay, slavery was abolished in 1865. in 1920, a constitutional amendment guarantees all American women the right to vote. Okay? Many laws today ensure equal treatment of all citizens, regardless of age, gender, physical ability, national background, race. Yep, there are employment laws. There's an employment law saying that an employer cannot discriminate when they're hiring someone based on age. So they can't look at someone and say, oh, well, you're too old for this job, I want someone younger. Or you're a man, I want a woman. Or, you know, you're African American and I want a white person. Now, does that sometimes happen?
Yes, because that's racist.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Saying someone's too young for
But the law is that they can't do that. So no one could come out and say that.
It's 5 by 5.
You can't get inside of someone's mind and someone's heart and decide why they're doing something, but it is a law. So we have laws in education. We have laws to protect that everyone, no matter what their ability or disability is, no matter what their gender or race is, that they're going to have access to an education. Okay, so we've come a long way. Okay, yet some people, both past and present, have argued that achieving equal rights does not necessarily mean
4,300.
equality. Americans will not achieve equality,
I'm recording
they argue,
this.
until we address differences in wealth, education, and power.
10 by 10.
This equality of
Here's this thing
condition
is a 10.
extends to all aspects of life, including living standards, job opportunities, and medical care. Okay. Basically what the article is saying is that some people think until we make it so that people can have equal access to pretty much everything, we won't have equality. Okay? So until everyone has equal access to jobs, everybody has the same money, the same housing, the same education. Just think about that. Equal means same. Okay? Then until everybody has the same everything, we really won't have equality. That's what that term
6 by 6.
equality of condition means. It means the conditions that you live in are the same. Now, do you think that's the way it is right now?
No.
No. Okay, even in Greendale, I am sure that you are aware by the time you're in 7th grade, it's pretty obvious to you, that you can see different people's homes are bigger than other people's homes. Okay, different people go on different types of vacations. Different people wear different types of clothes and shoes. You see that.
That's weird.
Okay, you see that. Okay. Equality of condition means that everyone would have the same thing. Okay. Including access to, and you guys probably don't know a ton about this because you're not adults, you don't pay
Sean,
attention
it's 6
to
by
it,
6.
but including things like medical care.
Oh my god.
Okay? I would say that probably many of you, most of you, go to the dentist when you need to go to the dentist, go to the doctor when you need to go to the doctor. You have insurance, your parents have insurance to pay for that. Not everybody has insurance, and not everybody has the ability to go to the doctor
10,000.
or get a medication that you need, like, okay? So the term equality of condition would mean that everybody would have all of those conditions the same. All right, so now, here's the tough part about these sections. They're going to ask you some questions and want you to think about some things that there really are no right or wrong answers to. Okay, this paragraph or this section ends by saying, is equality of condition an achievable goal? No. Okay, meaning, do you think our nation could ever get there?
No.
Then the next question says, if so, how might it be achieved? These and other questions about equality are likely to be hotly debated for years to come.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so let's go back to the page. And I know you guys have lots of opinions. You are going to have the opportunity to share them on Tuesday.
Maybe there's a
after
3 by 3.
After you've done all this work on paper, you're going to share them out together.
Paper?
All right,
Paper?
Google them. Okay? All right, so go back to the questions. Again, I wish I didn't have this all typed in, but I don't feel like deleting
Oh my
it now.
god.
Name 2 events that display the great progress America has
Sure,
made in
it's a 3 by
expanding
8.
equality. Remember they talked about how 1865 slavery was ended? Okay, so that's the first one. And then they talked about 1920, women were allowed to vote.
Look at this.
Those are 2 things that happened since 1776 that have brought us a little closer to full equality as probably
Did you
those
finish
founding
the
fathers
walls?
had intended. Okay? All right. The next question is one that's right out of the article too. It says define equality of condition. This is what I typed, and you can use your own words, but I typed equality of condition means that everyone's conditions, everyone's living situation is the same. Same amount of money, same health care, same job opportunities, same educational opportunities. I mean, you probably know that there are some colleges that are better than other colleges.
Wisconsin.